It all started with a whisper backstage, one that turned into a full-blown storm on the streets of Atlanta. Kirk, a real dope boy, Lil Scrappy, allegedly blurted out during an explosive off-camera moment that sent shockwaves through the entire Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cast. What began as a casual conversation about loyalty in relationships quickly spiraled into a fiery expose on secrets, betrayals, and a double life no one saw coming. Fans are shook. Was this just Scrappy being messy? Or did he know something that the rest of us didn't? For years, Kirk and Rasheeda have been the power couple we loved to side-eye the cheating scandals, the tears, the reconciliation attempts. But now, this claim that Kirk might have been living a whole different life behind the music has turned the drama up to an entirely new level. Rasheeda's silence on the issue, deafening. Scrappy's sudden distance from both of them, suspicious. And let's not forget the cryptic posts flooding social media from side characters who know too much. Could this be the scandal that finally breaks Kirk and Rasheeda for good? Did Scrappy just accidentally set fire to a secret Kirk's been hiding for decades? Or is this all just another twisted play in the never-ending game of reality TV deception? Grab your tea, because what you're about to hear will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about Atlanta's most controversial couple. Kirk Frost had always walked a tightrope between the spotlight and the shadows. But no one expected this. It wasn't just another cheating rumor. This time, it was Lil Scrappy, his own castmate and longtime friend, who threw the match into the gasoline. It happened during a tense after-party, just days after filming wrapped on the latest explosive season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Scrappy, sipping dark liquor and clearly fed up with the whispers, let the words fly. Kirk, a real dope boy, man. Y'all really don't know what he be into. At first, everyone laughed, thinking it was a joke. But Scrappy's face didn't flinch. That's when jaws dropped and the room froze. What was supposed to be just a casual get-together turned into the beginning of a wildfire that no one could put out. Rasheeda wasn't there that night, but the words found their way to her by morning. She woke up to dozens of missed calls and cryptic DMs like, "Sis, you good?" and "Say it ain't so." Confused, she scrolled until she found a screen recording of Scrappy's late-night rant, now viral, posted by an up-and-coming gossip blogger. Her hands trembled. She knew Kirk had a past who didn't in Atlanta, but she also believed that part of his life was long buried. Now, with the whole city whispering and fans dissecting every move they ever made on TV, the ground beneath her feet began to crack. When she finally confronted Kirk that afternoon, cameras weren't rolling. But the moment could have easily been mistaken for a season finale. "Tell me right now," she demanded, eyes red and jaw clenched. "What the hell is Scrappy talking about?" Kirk, pacing back and forth, shook his head and muttered, "Man, he drunk. He don't know what he's saying." But Rasheeda wasn't buying it. Meanwhile, Scrappy doubled down. He took to his Instagram live, sweat glistening on his brow, eyes wide with conviction. "I ain't gone, let nobody call me a liar," he said to over 20,000 viewers. "I seen things. I know things. Kirk been out here. Y'all just caught up in his little husband image. But I promise you he more than just a cheater. He got layers." Comments flooded in, fans flipping between disbelief and vindication. Some were quick to accuse Scrappy of clout chasing. Others, though, said they always felt something off about Kirk's demeanor, to calm, to collected, like a man who knew how to hide everything behind a poker face. The pressure became unbearable. Producers scrambled to schedule emergency interviews. The network smelled ratings gold, but the cast, they were spiraling. Bambi, Scrappy's wife, was furious. "Why you gotta drag them like that?" she screamed during a private scene that later got leaked. "That's they marriage. You don't play with people's lives for views." But Scrappy wasn't backing down. "I ain't playing with nobody's life," he snapped. "I'm telling the truth. If Kirk's so innocent, let him prove it." That line alone was enough to restart a firestorm across social media, where fan theories ranged from Kirk ran trap houses in the 90s to he still got real estate fronting for shady business. Back at home, Rasheeda was cracking. Her boutique had seen a drop in foot traffic. Paparazzi lurked outside. Even her teenage son asked her one morning, "Mom, was Dad really a dope boy?" The heartbreak in her eyes couldn't be masked. Kirk tried to console her, swearing it was just Scrappy being bitter after a recent falling out over business deals gone wrong. But Rasheeda wasn't stupid. She started putting things together: the unexplained late-night calls, the stacks of cash she once thought were from investments, and the quiet meetings he took with unfamiliar men who always seemed just a little too guarded. Then came the first real twist. A woman named Cherie slid into the Shade Room's DMS, claiming she used to be Kirk's runner back in the day. Screenshots were shared, showing her face blurred out, but her message unmistakable. Y'all just now finding out. I used to drive the man's product from College Park to Macon. He was smart, never touched nothing himself. Always had girls like me doing the heavy lifting. Within hours, her story was trending. Fans demanded answers. Kirk's rep issued a weak denial, calling it baseless gossip from someone chasing attention, but no one was buying it anymore. Things got worse. Old mugshots began circulating, one in particular from the early 2000s showing a man who looked like Kirk, arrested under a different alias. Bloggers ran facial analysis comparisons. It's 90% match, one YouTube investigator said, igniting more fuel. The Frost household was imploding from the pressure. Rasheeda began avoiding filming. She didn't want the cameras in her face. While she dealt with the growing suspicion that her husband wasn't just a flawed man, he might have been living a double life the entire time. In a last-ditch effort to clear his name, Kirk sat down with producers and requested his own confessional. "I done made mistakes," he started, his voice shaky but firm. "But I ain't no drug dealer. Scrappy don't know what he talking about. He mad 'cause I ain't invest in his mixtape, that's what this about." The denial felt hollow. Fans commented relentlessly. "That's exactly what a Dopeboy would say," one wrote. Another added, "His calmness gives me cartel energy." Even co-stars like Young Jock chimed in during his podcast, saying, "Ayo, I don't know if Kirk was in the game, but let me tell you, Atlanta got layers. You'd be shocked who's doing what under the radar." And then Rasheeda disappeared. Not literally, but emotionally. She stopped posting. Skipped an episode taping. Word spread that she'd taken the kids to her mother's house and needed space. It wasn't just the rumors. It was the possibility that her whole love story had been a carefully curated illusion. That the man she fought for on national television wasn't just unfaithful, but dangerous. Betrayal didn't even begin to describe what she felt. That's when part 2 of this mess began to unravel. Because if Scrappy was telling the truth about Kirk's past, what else did he know that he hadn't said yet? And why now, after all these years, did he decide to expose it? Was this really about a failed mixtape? Or was something even darker about to come out? The kind of truth that could really change everything. Scrappy's bombshell had already scorched the surface, but it was what came next that truly set everything ablaze. Just days after Rasheeda's quiet retreat from the public eye, Scrappy posted something cryptic on his Instagram story. A blurry photo of an old beat-up Crown Vic parked outside a boarded-up trap house on the east side, captioned, simply, "Ask Kirk about this spot." That single post sent bloggers into a frenzy. Within hours, amateur detectives had located the address, identified known associates from the area, and cross-referenced them with Atlanta police reports from the late 90s. The implication was no longer subtle, it was direct. Scrappy was calling Kirk out publicly, daring him to deny it, while every viewer, castmate, and gossip page leaned in with hungry anticipation. Kirk, under immense pressure, finally snapped. Not at questions. Rasheeda's eldest, Kai, confronted his father during an unfilmed moment that later got transcribed and leaked. "Did you put us in danger?" he reportedly asked. Kirk, caught off guard, said nothing, just lowered his head. And that silence echoed louder than any denial ever could. It was the silence of a man out of defenses. As filming neared its explosive season finale, Mona gathered the entire cast for one final confrontation. Cameras rolled as Scrappy, Kirk, Rasheeda, Bambi, Jock, Tammy, and others sat in a circle, tense, quiet, raw. Rasheeda spoke first. Her voice was trembling but powerful. "I defended you, Kirk. I took bullets for your name. And now the world's laughing at me again. But this time, it ain't about your pants. It's about your soul. And I need to know, was it all a lie?" Kirk stood, looking at her with teary eyes. "I loved you. That's the only truth I've ever known. Everything else, it was survival." Rasheeda's jaw clenched. "Then you should have let me choose whether I wanted to survive with you or run from you." Scrappy scoffed across the circle. "Man, stop acting like you some damn victim. Kirk, you played everybody. I just brought the truth to the surface." Tension exploded. Jock had to physically hold Kirk back from lunging across the set. Rasheeda stood between them, not to protect Kirk but to protect herself from being dragged into a fight that no longer belonged to her. Her voice broke as she said, "You know what? Y'all can have your street games. I'm done being the wife, the fixer, the fool. This story don't belong to me anymore." And with that, she walked off set, leaving behind tears, gasps, and a silence so heavy it choked the air. The cameras kept rolling. Scrappy looked into the lens and said, what everyone was thinking. Y'all wanted reality. This is reality. Ain't no script that could write what just happened. But what no one knew yet was that part 4 would reveal something even darker. Because one of the people filming that scene had been recording something else, in secret, something that could not only destroy Kirk, but drag everyone in that circle down with him. What happened next didn't just shake the love and hip-hop universe, it rattled the entire foundation of reality TV as we know it. Just 3 days after Rasheeda's emotional walk-off, a leaked behind-the-scenes video surfaced on a private Discord server run by die-hard Atlanta gossip fans. The footage clearly captured on a phone by someone who wasn't supposed to be recording showed a moment during that final group confrontation where Kirk stepped outside for a breather. What the world saw was chilling. Kirk wasn't alone. He was seen meeting a man in a black hoodie behind the production trailers. The audio was low, but with enhanced filters, a few words became clear. They, digging too close. Shut that *T down. Pay whoever you need. The man handed Kirk a folded envelope. Kirk tucked it into his jacket, looked directly at the guy, and muttered, I told you this TV life was gone, get us both killed. Within hours, the clip had been downloaded, reposted, and dissected across every platform. Reddit sleuths matched the mystery man's walk to a known former Atlanta street figure, who went by the name Tone. Police reports confirmed Tone had a long record tied to drug distribution in the early 2000s. Fans were now convinced. Kirk wasn't just an ex-Dopeboy, he was still active, and worse, he might have just been caught trying to cover it up. The line between television fiction and criminal reality was officially obliterated. Rasheeda was blindsided. She didn't even see the clip until her assistant showed her at her boutique. Her knees buckled. The betrayal wasn't just emotional anymore, it was existential. He's not the man I married, she whispered, staring blankly at the phone. He's not even the man I thought I hated after he cheated. He's a stranger in my life. Wearing my husband's skin. Her mother urged her to lawyer up. This ain't about feelings no more, baby, Miss Charlene warned. This about safety. Yours and them babies. Meanwhile, VH1 was in crisis mode. Executives feared they were now in possession of evidence connected to active criminal activity. A cease and desist letter was allegedly issued to the staff member responsible for the leak, but the damage was done. Every entertainment blog, true crime channel, and street legend podcast had already snatched the video and started spinning theories. TMZ dropped a new headline. Kirk Frost caught in mob-style exchange on Love and Hip Hop set feds monitoring situation. That last part, not clickbait. 2 cast members confirmed to bloggers that Homeland Security had visited the set, quietly asking questions and requesting footage. Kirk's reputation was in ashes. Businesses cut ties. His sponsors vanished. Even longtime friends like Young Jock began stepping back publicly. In one radio interview, Jock said, "Look, I love Kirk like a brother, but I got kids. I can't be wrapped up in nothing that could mess up my own freedom. It's too messy." Behind the scenes, Mona Scott-Young was fighting battles on every front legally, reputationally, emotionally. "We never intended for this show to cross into this kind of reality," she reportedly told producers. "But now that it has, we ride the wave, or we drown in it." Scrappy, however, wasn't celebrating. The deeper the story got, the more unsettled he became. During a late-night Instagram live, he finally admitted, "I ain't mean for it to go this far. I just wanted truth. I didn't know it would hit like this. Now people scared. Now people getting followed. This ain't TV no more. It's something else." His voice cracked. For the first time since the chaos began, Scrappy didn't sound like a man exposing someone, he sounded like someone who wished he could take it all back. But there was no going back. The final straw came when Rasheeda filed a temporary separation and quietly consulted with federal investigators. Not because she wanted to betray Kirk but because she needed to protect herself. She told her lawyer, "If they come for him, I can't be standing beside him. Not this time." When news of her cooperation leaked, Kirk went dark. No Instagram posts, no interviews, no paparazzi sightings, just silence. Until one ominous post appeared on his stories. A black screen with white text that read, "Y'all want a villain? Fine, just don't cry when the ending gets ugly." Then came the wiretap. Somehow, somewhere, A podcast known for covering Southern rap beefs got hold of a 5-minute audio clip that allegedly captured a phone call between Kirk and a business partner. In the call, Kirk's voice said, "They tryna flip Rasheeda. I knew she'd fold. She got that soft heart. Always did." The voice on the other end laughed and replied, "Then maybe you should have kept her out the business." That was the moment fans collectively gasped. Was Rasheeda ever truly in the dark? Or was there a part of her that knew but chose love over loyalty to the law? This time, Rasheeda didn't cry. She didn't run, she posted a simple message to her followers, pinned at the top of her profile. "I don't run from truth. I stand in it even when it breaks me." Fans flooded the comments. Some begged her to spill everything. Others simply said, "We believe you now." Bambi, Erica, Tamiel rallied behind her. Even Joseline, chaotic as ever, posted a voice note saying, "I may be messy, but I ain't blind. Rasheeda deserves better." As filming for the season officially wrapped, the network hinted that the footage might never air due to legal concerns. But cast members were already under contract for a reunion special, one that Mona swore would be the most raw, dangerous, and historic episode in reality TV history. But the question on everyone's lips wasn't about ratings anymore. It was, will Kirk even show up? Or will this be the first time a cast member misses the reunion? Not because of scheduling, but because they're behind bars. By the end of part 4, viewers were left with no illusions. This wasn't just about a failing marriage. This was about the blurred line between fame and infamy. About how long a person can run from their past before it comes knocking in front of millions of viewers. About how a reality TV husband became the subject of federal whispers, street legend confirmations, and tear-streaked betrayal. And as Rasheeda stared out the window of her mother's home, watching the sunset, one haunting thought echoed in her mind. What if Scrappy hadn't said a word? Would I still be loving a lie? Or sleeping beside a secret that could have killed me? And just like that, what began as a throwaway comment, Kirk, a real dope boy, turned into a tidal wave of truth, trauma, and terrifying revelations that no one could have predicted. Lil Scrappy may have dropped the first match, but it was Kirk's silence, Rasheeda's heartbreak, and the streets of Atlanta whispering truths too long buried that fanned the flames. What was once considered just messy reality TV became something darker, deeper, something real. Kirk Frost went from a controversial husband to the most talked about man in Atlanta. Not for his music, not for his marriage, but for the chilling possibility that he was never who he said he was. Rasheeda's world was turned upside down again. This time, there were no apologies, no makeup scenes, no scripted redemption. Just raw pain, public humiliation, and a woman trying to piece together whether the last 20 years of her life were built on sand or lies. Fans rallied around her, but even their support couldn't undo the betrayal. As for Scrappy, his truth-telling sparked a revolution, but whether he was a hero, a villain, or just another reality star tired of biting his tongue, that's still up for debate. So now we turn to you. What do you believe? Is Kirk Frost a misunderstood man with a complicated past? Or did the cameras finally catch up to the criminal he tried so hard to leave behind? Was Rasheeda truly in the dark, or did love blind her from seeing what was always in front of her? And do you think Lil Scrappy was brave for speaking out? Or messy for setting fire to a family? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like if you were shocked, subscribe if you want more, and tell us if this is just season 1 of The Truth. What on earth is coming next? Stay tuned, because this story, it's far from over. As filming for the season officially wrapped, the network hinted that the footage might never air due to legal concerns, but cast members were already under contract for a reunion special, one that Mona swore would be the most raw, dangerous, and historic episode in reality TV history. But the question on everyone's lips wasn't about ratings anymore. It was, will Kirk even show up? Or will this be the first time a cast member misses the reunion? Not because of scheduling, but because they're behind bars. By the end of part 4, viewers were left with no illusions. This wasn't just about a failing marriage. This was about the blurred line between fame and infamy. About how long a person can run from their past before it comes knocking in front of millions of viewers. About how a reality TV husband became the subject of federal whispers, street legend confirmations, and tear-streaked betrayal. And as Rasheeda stared out the window of her mother's home, watching the sunset, one haunting thought echoed in her mind. What if Scrappy hadn't said a word? Would I still be loving a lie? Or sleeping beside a secret that could have killed me? And just like that, What began as a throwaway comment, Kirk, a real dope boy, turned into a tidal wave of truth, trauma, and terrifying revelations that no one could have predicted. Lil Scrappy may have dropped the first match, but it was Kirk's silence, Rasheeda's heartbreak, and the streets of Atlanta whispering truths too long buried that fanned the flames. What was once considered just messy reality TV became something darker, deeper, something real. Kirk Frost went from a controversial husband to the most talked about man in Atlanta, not for his music, not for his marriage, but for the chilling possibility that he was never who he said he was. Rasheeda's world was turned upside down again, but this time, there were no apologies, no makeup scenes, no scripted redemption, just raw pain, public humiliation, and a woman trying to piece together whether the last 20 years of her life were built on sand or lies. Fans rallied around her, but even their support couldn't undo the betrayal. As for Scrappy, his truth-telling sparked a revolution, but whether he was a hero, a villain, or just another reality star tired of biting his tongue, that's still up for debate. So now we turn to you. What do you believe? Is Kirk Frost a misunderstood man with a complicated past? Or did the cameras finally catch up to the criminal he tried so hard to leave behind? Was Rasheeda truly in the dark, or did love blind her from seeing what was always in front of her? And do you think Lil Scrappy was brave for speaking out, or messy for setting fire to a family? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like if you were shocked, subscribe if you want more, and tell us if this is just season 1 of The Truth. What on earth is coming next? Stay tuned, because this story, it's far from over.